Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio for Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. I'm Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. Guyana is no doubt the crown jewel of Hess Corporation's global asset portfolio. With just a 30% working interest in the Stabroek Block, the American company is set to collect $2.6 billion in tax-free revenue for 2022. Specifically, Hess Corporation CEO John Hess was pleased to make this revelation. He said the company received 3 lifts of 1 million barrels of oil from the Stabroek Block, which has 2 ongoing projects, Liza Phase 1 and Liza Phase 2. In the second quarter, he said the lifts will increase to 7, and in the third and fourth quarters, 8 liftings each. It is estimated that deposits into the Natural Resource Fund for 2022 will total $957.6 million, comprising some $857.1 million earned from the government lifts of profit oil, and an additional $100.5 million from royalty. By Kaieteur's calculations, ESSO is poised to walk away with $3.9 billion, while CNOOC will get $2.2 billion this year. It therefore means that Exxon and partners will walk away with tax-free $8.7 billion profit in 2022. Guyana's oil sector is a guaranteed cash cow for the companies involved in its production that is unequal anywhere else in the world, with a revenue stream that increases each year as new projects are brought on stream. This was the sentiment expressed by John Hess. He elaborated by pointing out that with each lift of 1 million barrels and with oil price at over $100 a barrel, there will be a move from $300 million incremental cash flow to $700 in the second quarter, and $800 million in the third, $800 million in the fourth. The ExxonMobil partner, who holds a 30% stake in the Stabroek Block, bragged that's a rate of change just for this year. Part of the success story for Hess, he said, is the downward curve of the costs associated with production. John Hess has disclosed that the majority of the oil that has been discovered in Guyana's Stabroek Block has been at 15,000 feet, but much deeper at 18,000 feet to be exact. The ExxonMobil-led joint venture is finding more large pools of sweet oil. He noted that at 15,000 feet in the block, geologists refer to this section as the Upper Campanian, the Cretaceous age. In simpler terms, the oil is found in a layer of the earth that spans a time frame from 83.6 to 72.1 million years ago. In other news, 2 weeks ago, the African Energy Conference was hosted at the Mayfair Hotel in London, England, where delegates were met with vociferous protest demonstrations against the oil companies represented there, along with the leaders of at least 12 African nations. The group of primarily Caucasian protesters against the economic and other exploitation of African citizens in the oil-producing regions were calling for 4 primary objectives to be met, namely the cancellation of the debt of those countries for oil companies to pay compensation for damage caused over the years, greater investments in renewable energy, and the departure of those companies from the African shores. During the protest activity, it was pointed out that the conference is being held in that country and not Africa because 60% of the oil and gas producers operating in Africa are from the global north. Additionally, of that 60% of African oil being produced by northern companies, it was pointed out that 4 companies control half of this production. Those are ExxonMobil, Total, Shell, and ENI. And now let's tell you, citing the cheaper options currently available for electricity generation, leader of the opposition Mr. Auburn Norton is of the firm belief that the 165 megawatts Amila Falls hydropower project will serve solely as an avenue for the PPP to benefit. Norton explained that the former APNU-AFC government had discontinued the project on the grounds that it was not well conceived and could therefore be no use to the people of Guyana. Only last week, Vice President Bharat Jagdeo told members of the press that the Chinese contractor, China Railway First Group, had been unable to secure the finances. According to Norton, however, while the details of the arrangement remain sketchy at the moment, the coalition believes that the entire project remains misconceived, ill-conceived, and a complete waste of taxpayers' money. Meanwhile, Norton has informed President Ali that he agrees to the confirmation of Justice Yonet Cummings-Edwards and Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire as Chancellor and Chief Justice, respectively. To this end, Norton told members of the media during his weekly press conference that since the opposition leader has already fulfilled his constitutional responsibility, the president is now charged with making the appointment. The time has now moved on to 12 hours 9 in Ghana. You're tuned into Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. We'll return shortly after the break.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speed Test, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Georgetown or in NI, we got you covered. Digicel, better together.
This is GHK Lal, inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues, immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. The car owner who initially denied hitting 50-year-old Reynold Williams along the Enmore public road with his vehicle last May 23rd has led major crime investigators to Williams' remains. The car owner has been identified by police as 53-year-old Daniel Melbourne of Anns Grove. He confessed that he was initially lying to police and was indeed the driver who fatally struck Williams with his car and then dumped his body in a trench. Williams' decomposing remains were found close to midday on Tuesday in a trench at Coldigan, a near 4.5-kilometer drive from where the vehicle struck him. According to investigators, the breakthrough came after ranks from the Major Crime Unit rearrested Melbourne for questioning. And in other news, the Ministry of Home Affairs on Tuesday signed 9 contracts totaling $760.2 million for a number of projects as part of its 2022 capital program. The contracts signed are for a new security fence at Lozignan Prison, the construction of command operation centers, and a number of fire hydrants, and a new fire station, just to name a few. Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben encouraged the contractors to deliver timely and quality work. With the scope of work each project entails, contractors were also encouraged to employ young people to equip them with the necessary skills and training. The Ghana Prison Service signed 2 contracts totaling $145 million, one with Singh and Son Construction worth $96.2 million for the construction of senior officer living quarters at the Lozignan Prison, and the other with Advanced Engineering for $48.8 million to construct a new security fence at the same facility. And moving on, days after a teacher at the Desiree Caesar Fox Secondary School in Warramadong Region 7 highlighted that the food scarcity at the school had led to the students being served shine rice for several days. The school on Monday night received food supplies. Minister Manik Chand explained that the schools in Region 7 fall under the direct management of the Regional Democratic Council of Region 7, which is supervised by Ministers of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Dharamlal and Anand Prasad. Notably, Minister Dharamlal stated that supplies for the school were not requested and that the situation had since been rectified. And as usual, we wrap things up with the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News. With some of the reckless decisions being made in this land, many commentators believe we are fast heading to a bleak destination. But can we as Guyanese really sit idly by and let heartless politicians determine our fate? In much the way we would stand up against a robber trying to invade our home, we must resist every attempt by so-called leaders whose only intent is to fill their pockets and that they're cronies instead of securing a better future for all Guyanese. Failing to act in the best interest of the nation that you were elected to serve can only be described as an abomination, and it must not be allowed to fester further in our land. Guyanese, stand up for your nation. Change must come, and it will come. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.